Shalom Akim, Kahala Imna, Yahaba Shemi Asha Bashan Hakudash, and double on Instagrams and apostles, Thadia Shah for the strength and those who made this video, and Yaratazar they find it edifying and exhorting. Edifying meaning to build up, exhorting meaning to encourage. And I just wanted to make a quick video, based on what Apostle Tahar uploaded recently. On as he named his video, he has. And once more, if I didn't say it, double honors to the great Muslim apostles and the elder bishops of Great Muslim also. He has spiritual power from the left hand side, which involves his technology and of course all the engineering feats of which the Most has allowed Esau to have in order to use for prophecy's sake as well. So we're gonna get into it, Yaratazar, and I'll bring out some precepts too. But yeah, this is Apostle Tah's channel. What is the 666 mark? I believe it says GMS. Hold on. Yeah, GMS Truth here on the top left. So I'll start the video and bring out some precepts, and that'll be it.
Energy. Well, a bunch of people online are kind of mashing three different things together. First, electronic warfare means attacking the spectrum. That means you don't need to blow up a radar if you can just jam it, if you can just spoof it, if you can just overload it, or cut the network. It depends on, totally. So it's just sitting there stupid. You can't do anything. The Economic Times describes something it calls the Wraith as an electronic warfare umbrella used in the Maduro capture, creating a digital blackout that paralyzed security infrastructure.
Oh, you can see the picture here. This is Maduro. He's wearing goggles. He can't see at all, so he's blind, and he has ear muffs where he can't hear, so he don't know what's going on. All he knows is he got arms leading him around.
Now, important note, there's also some confusion around that name as well, because the defense company CX2 also markets a product called Wraith, and they describe it as an autonomous airborne electronic warfare platform that geolocates high-value emitters like jammers, radars, and ground control systems. And here's their promo video for jamming part of this for that.
That's why when the scriptures say, what is that? Philippians, if I'm not mistaken, could be Ephesians. I haven't gone through it. The prince of the power of the air. He's the prince of the power of the air.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right now. This is Ephesians 2 and verse 1. It says, "And you hath he made, and you hath he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins." And the key part in verse 2, it says, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, referring to these Edomites, Esau, Edom, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So of course, really Esau having an influence on Jake as well. Hence why 2/3 gotta be rid of. Zechariah 13 and verse 8. So the point is, as Apostle Tahar quoted, the prince of the power of the air is reference to Esau, Edom, and clearly that from his all his fighter jets, and of course drone warfare, and pretty much the Most High giving him the blessing of warfare, especially when it comes to air warfare too. I say air warfare, but air combat, and how advanced he's made Esau in that domain. Of course, not as advanced as the chariots, but of course advanced enough to, I guess, put fear in the other nations. Alright, let's continue the video.
If I'm not mistaken, Could be Ephesians. I haven't gone through it. The prince of the power of the air. He's the prince of the power of the air.
Jamming part of the story. Let's take a look at this. You see this guy sitting up he's a bad guy there, because you can tell because he's got a mask on, right? He's a bad guy. And they say, all of our drones are down. You know what we're going to do? We're going to send in the Wraith. Let's send in the Wraith, and we're going to take him out. And basically takes him out, removes all of the jamming, and totally turns the tables. So this raid wasn't just bullets, it was total control of the airwaves. Second piece of this, directed energy piece of the story. These things that hit you with radio frequency or millimeter waves to create immediate pain and force movement without a traditional projectile, so they're not hitting you with a bullet. The Pentagon has publicly described this as active denial technology, as a focused beam of radio frequency millimeter waves that penetrate only about 1/64th of an inch, the equivalent of like 3 sheets of printed paper. That's it. Into your body, creating like an intolerable heating sensation that stops you like in your tracks. And then, by the way, when you step right out of the beam, you're like, oh, it's gone.
This is why the scriptures talk about Esau has done a diligent search, man. Psalm 64 and verse 6. Careful and persistent effort. Whilst I put the spirit within Esau to be able to search out these things, to be able to use radio waves, but not to get too technical, but as the guy mentioned here, the electromagnetic spectrum, so whatever particular waves of which can be used to affect the human body, the Most High has given Esau the knowledge in order to do that, to be able to advance in his weaponry, man. Hence what Apostle Tahar named the video. He has spiritual power from the left-hand side, and that's it. The knowledge to be able to do all these things. You got airwaves, as the guy mentioned here from this podcast called Redacted. As he titled his video, "We've never seen anything like it. Blood pouring out of our faces. U.S. directed energy weapons." Which, if you watch the whole of Apostle Tahar's video, you'll understand, what it's about, man. Kind of reminded me of that scene of there's this show called The Boys, and then one of the what do they call them, man? Well, one of the mutants, for a lack of I forgot what they call them, man. It's like experimental lab superpowered people. Anyways, I'm gonna just call them mutants, man. But yeah, one of the mutants, the superpowered, it was a woman. She had the power to pretty much control blood in The Boys, but she used the ability to explode heads, and then people were bugging out in the courtroom, like, how in the world are those heads exploding? So it kind of reminds me of this, man. When this title says blood pouring out of our faces. But anyway, so airwaves, you got directed energy weapons. But let me let the guy speak, Yaratazar. Yeah.
So it only goes down 1/64th of an inch on your skin. And it's intolerable. You gotta move. And if you want a pop culture moment from this, to make this real for people, there's literally a Fox News segment when I used to work at Fox News many moons ago, where I interviewed my old colleague Peter Ducey, who tested this active denial system at the time, and he described exactly what it felt like. Listen.
Wow, the U.S. military revealing its brand new crowd control instrument that could also protect U.S. ships from pirates. The very intrepid Peter Ducey volunteering to test this thing out, Allie?
And no, he was not the guy doing the shooting. He was actually shot at, and Peter's going to tell us what it felt like and show us that moment. Peter, take it.
There's Clayton Morris right there, without the beard. Holly could have recognized
Get
him.
away.
Allison, I'll tell you first that I learned this week firsthand. Non-lethal also means not pleasant. Look at this. You can't see it, hear it, or smell it, but it makes unruly mobs do this. The Defense Department's active denial system, a non-lethal weapon that can be used to control crowds.
That's spiritual power right there. That's the miracles in Revelation chapter 13. Wonders and the miracles.
Yep. And of course, that's the technology Esau's been blessed with, man. And I believe also there was the technology that was used for creating the 5G telecommunication network. I guess the microwaves used there is similar to the technology used for these, I guess, non-lethal weapons. I say non-lethal, but the weapons used to scatter crowds. The active denial system, as we just heard. The reason why those people were running there was because they felt that heat on their body. They're not crazy. They literally felt the heat. These people here, they felt the heat. That's why they scattered just now.
Mobs do this. The Defense Department's active denial system, a non-lethal weapon that can be used to control crowds.
That's spiritual power right there. That's the miracles in Revelation chapter 13. Wonders and the miracles. What is that? The 13 and 14 and 15 verse.
God, let me get that one right now. This is Revelation 13, and starting from verse. I'll start from verse 13. It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven and on the earth and in the sight of men. That's also referring to the atomic bomb that the Most High gave Esau power to create. Of course, the example of that was Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Japanese cities which were bombed in 1945, around there. So that's the firepower that the Most High gave Esau, man. That's the great wonders there. As it says here, so that he maketh fire to come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And there were many witnesses that day who died from that in those Japanese cities, near Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Verse 14, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. You see, the spiritual power on the left-hand side, the technology that the Most has blessed Esau with, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. So, of course, the point is that those miracles, the spiritual power on the left-hand side will be used to deceive those, of course, they're going to deceive Jake, but those of the world too. But yeah, that's the point right there. Yaratazan, let me get another precept as well. Because as I named the video, he is a cunning hunter. And I put that in quotations for a reason. It shows the trickery and wisdom and the craftiness Esau has. Alright, I'll start from verse 23. Genesis 25 and 23. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, which is Rebekah, two nations, Rebekah the wife of Isaac, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Hold on. Separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. They called his name Esau. And And after that came his brother out of his hand, took hold on Esau's heel. And his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Jacob and Isaac was 60 years old when she bare him. A score is 20. 20 times 3 is 60 years old. So 60 years old means 60 years old. Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. So again, let's get into the root word of cunning. It shows his intelligence, his experience in the field was very high. You know, Ephesians 2:2 refers to him as the prince of the power of the air as well. So of course, power of the field, power of the air as well, in terms of his military might. So cunning means to know, to learn to know, to perceive. Of course, the root word there is yada.
Strong's H 3045. Yadeh. Yadeh.
Right, and then it means to know, to learn to know, to perceive, to find out, and discern, discriminate, distinguish, know by experience. You see, if you keep hunting, of course you're going to gain experience. Really, that's with anything, you know, you repeat it enough times, you start to develop an instinct for it. So to recognize, admit, acknowledge, confess, to consider. So the point is, Esau's been given that discernment, that perception, keen eye when it comes to hunting, man. And of course, considering his evil nature, he would apply that to that. You know, hence the V, the juice V. You know, that's another cunning way, crafty way to achieve his goal of weakening Jake's immune system, weakening the immune system of people. But not to go off topic though, that's the spiritual power that he has on the left-hand side. It's not just in the military sense, but also in the biological sense, chemistry sense, and really all manner of sciences as well that we know of. Because of his nature being evil, it will be applied in that manner. Alright, but I think let's get another preset and we'll close out. Let's see. This is Ezekiel 28, starting from verse 1. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh the Most High, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power. I sit in the seat of the Most High in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man, and not power. They're not a power. Though thou set thine hearts as the heart, the mind of the Most High. So Esau's being prideful here, man. He thinks he's a god, but he's not a god. Verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. So the Most High has given them their intelligence. He's made them very, very wise. Of course, the wisdom of the world, which is still foolishness to the Most High, as we know. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. He says, with thy wisdom and thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and it's true. All these families, they've gotten riches via the wisdom the Most High has given them. Of the world again once more, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. You see, and of course because of the vanity of that pride. You know, Esau's he's gonna go through his fall. Hence this scripture here, Jeremiah 49:16, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord Yahweh. So Yahweh Bashim Yashar will bring Esau's down. So that terribleness, that the so-called power that he has, that military might that he draws off pride from, he will be cast down. That's the point, man. So that spiritual power on on the left hand side, you know, it's all going to be for nothing anyways. You know, let Esau think that he's going to win, but he ain't going to win. Anyways, Yaratazar, you know, you see the name of the video. Link it in the description. And Yaratazar, if you want to watch the whole video from Apostle Tahar, it's right there. Of course, from for the video that he's making the video from, the channel name is called Redacted. Hold on.
Verse.
Yeah, it's called Redacted, as you can see on the bottom left. Redacted. And the name of the video is We've Never Seen Anything Like It, Blood Pouring Out of Our Faces, US Directed Energy Weapons, aka DEW. But yeah, Shalom, Yabashim Shabrakatha, and yeah, that's it. Yabashim Shabrakatha, Shalom.